Abbots Langley's Manor House once stood opposite Kitter's Green at the entrance to the village. It had been built over the moated site of an earlier structure, and internally it showed traces of Jacobean and Elizabethan architecture. During the Second World War, the building suffered neglect and was demolished in 1953 to become a car park. The smaller 19th century lodge survives to this day as accommodation for the Abbots Langley neighbourhood policing team. In the 17th century, Francis Combe, a wealthy miller from Hemel Hempstead, lived here with his wife Anne Greenhill. Members of the Greenhill family lived in the manor house until 1820, when it was leased to various wealthy inhabitants, including the Reverend Robert Collingham in the 1830s and John Initward between 1892 and 1922. The last occupant was Major J. H. Drake between 1922 and 1938. In its day, the principal resident of the manor house was the Squire of Abbots Langley. Within the grounds of the manor house was parkland, used for grazing livestock, and also for playing cricket. Across the road from Manor House grounds is Kitter's Green. At the back of the green once stood Castano House, which was a school run by the Salvatorian order until the 1950s, when it was demolished and eventually redeveloped as flats. The green once had a large pond with a submerged causeway. Carts were driven into the pond for horses to be watered, and the drivers stopped off at the Royal Oak for a pint. During the 1920s and 1930s, water levels began to drop, and in the 1950s the parish council purchased the green and were responsible for its improvement and maintenance. The original building, dating from 1717, was rebuilt in 1827 as a beer shop named the Royal Oak. The barn alongside it is said to have been a pest house for people afflicted with infectious diseases such as tuberculosis, cholera, or smallpox. Today, it is a family-friendly venue overlooking the green, where once children used to play in and around the pond. Utri Cottage dates from around 1650 and is a Grade II star listed building. This late 1890s photo shows Isaac Collins and his granddaughter Susan Bolton Collins standing in their front garden. The cottage was substantially restored in 2003, immediately before this photo was taken. The foundations of the original cottage comprised oak beams laid directly onto the ground, and after more than 300 years, one of these had rotted, causing the eastern gable wall to subside. During the restoration, the wall was rebuilt and roof trusses were replaced, although many of the original timbers were retained. At the rear of the cottage was the village laundry with its own entrance in Garden Road. It was a common sight to see clothes and linen hanging out to dry, and rumour has it that the current owners still have the right to dry their clothes on the green. Pound Cottage is one of the oldest buildings on Kitter's Green, a Grade II listed building dating from the mid-17th century with 20th century additions. Today it is one dwelling, but the 1839 tithe map shows it as being 3 cottages. On the corner of the green is a replica of the village pound. Animal pounds, which date from medieval times, were used to impound stray livestock until claimed by their owners on payment of a fine or sold to cover the cost of impounding. 19th century maps don't show the pound here, but instead it was located in the High Street between Langley Road and Adrian Road. By the turn of the 20th century, a replica had been installed on Kitters Green, and over the years this has been renovated and reinstated by the parish council. More information about the history of Kitters Green can be obtained by scanning the QR code on the information board alongside the pound, or alternatively by going to allhs.org.uk, clicking the Projects tab and scrolling down to Kitters Green.